Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Rider Review after a 39-32 kickoff for touchdown run back victory for your Saskatchewan Roughriders over the Toronto Argonauts. So in advance, I'm just going to say I apologize for my voice in this video. If you guys could not tell, I am a little bit stuffed up here, but I will do my best to make it through the video here, or I guess the podcast, if you're watching or if you're just listening to this. So I guess let's get right into it. Trevor Harris was 13 for 17 and 234 yards passing, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Harris was efficient, as he is every single game. I mean, I'm not even gonna. We're just gonna leave that as it is. You know what? Harris was great. He played like Trevor Harris plays usually. I mean, where we really get fancy is our run game. The Riders were just running the ball down the Argos' throats. Ouellette had 17 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown. With that insane touchdown run. I can't remember who it was that got out there and blocked for him, but that offensive line was great, getting up there to the second level and helping Ouellette down the field. What a great feeling it must have been for that guy to get in the end zone in his return to Toronto. I believe it was his first game back in the six after coming over from the Argos to join the Rough Riders. And Tommy Stevens, man. What a free agent pickup that guy was. I noted that in the Green Zone post-game show when I called in yesterday, even though my voice still wasn't 100%. But I think that guy's got to be the best free agent pickup in Saskatchewan Roughriders history, and that's not just my opinion. I saw that opinion during the game on a Rider Instagram page. And they were, they said the same thing. I mean, Tommy Stevens was 6 runs, 30 yards, and a touchdown. Guy was getting in there. I mean, after his touchdown, you saw he had the blood on his knuckles. He was pushing his way through. I mean, this guy is just insane. And every single time, I mean, I think he set that. I want to talk a little bit about that touchdown run there. He set that up perfectly. You guys will notice if you watch the game or the highlights, every time he ran, he would go to the right side of the line. And I mean, why wouldn't you go to the right side of the line? I mean, you have Jamarcus Harty over there blocking for you, making things easy. I mean, if I'm Tommy Stevens, that's where I'm going too. If I'm any running back for the Riders, I mean, look at AJ's last 2 touchdown runs there. He's ran to the right side because Jamarcus Harty is going to block and he's going to make things easy. He's going to make things so easy because he's arguably the best tackle in the league. But yeah, things were set up that way, and Stevens eventually, mind you, yeah, he did come in earlier in that first and long, I think it was. Stevens came in and ran to the left and didn't do anything great with it, so they put Harris back in. I was a little bit confused there, as I'm sure most Rider fans were, but I mean, you know what? Things worked out, and that's a good thing, right? So Stevens was able to run to the left and get a touchdown, and I mean, he had blood on his knuckles for a reason. He put his heart and soul into that. And then Thomas the Tank Engine. I mean, I talked a bit about it in week 1. I mean, this guy he's a ratio breaker. Like, he is a great Canadian running back, and eventually, I think when AJ retires and Carey is no longer with this team, which, I mean, eventually it could happen. These guys are both, I believe they're both in their 30s. Like, what? You got, like, the Riders have the next Canadian star running back, right? Like, I think the last star solid Canadian running back would have been John Cornish for the Stampeders, and I mean, don't quote me on this, but I think Bertrand Dudon could be the next coming of Cornish. I mean, that's high praise, but I mean, it's true. You look at this guy, 2 rushes, 23 carries, and 11 for 11.5 yards per carry. That's insane. And you know what? He would have had another carry too that went for over 10 yards, not quite a touchdown, but it was almost there. But it was called back because of a holding penalty on Robustelli, which, I mean, Robustelli, you know what? He's making his first CFL start in the regular season. You know what? Mistakes are going to be made. It happens, right? It's the reality of the game. Moving on to this receiving core here. Donte Meyers had a hell of a game. 4 receptions on 5 targets for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was a pretty good game by that guy. I mean, I want to say that that second touchdown, that was a heck of a throw by Harris. You look at where he placed the ball, and I mean, don't get me wrong, like both those routes were great routes by Meyers. But I mean, that second touchdown there, that throw on the slant by Harris was insane. Meyers was just one hell of an athlete. He did things that, I mean, you're going to expect from other players, right? Like, you look at Keyshawn Johnson, yeah, he had a big game in the fourth quarter last week, but he was a little bit more quiet this week. I mean, Johnson he was also 4 for 5 for 43 yards, but he didn't have a touchdown. But however, the thing is, Johnson was really efficient in that fourth quarter. I mean, people were talking about it on the post-game show, and I heard it. He's got to change his number to number 4, because he's that fourth quarter guy. Like, Harris trusts him in the fourth quarter, and you can tell that Harris is trusting him. Like, it's like Harris has all the trust in the world for Keyshawn Johnson, and the fact that you go to the guy like that who doesn't even have that much experience in the CFL in the fourth quarter, he's going to get, like, the fact that Harris is going to Keyshawn Johnson when Johnson doesn't have that much experience in the CFL just speaks numbers to the type of trust those two have in each other. And I mean, reasonably so. Johnson was phenomenal in that quarter. Picton, 1 catch, 33 yards. We saw that play. That was just a great way to bring down the ball by Mitchell Picton. I'm not gonna glaze Picton over and over. I mean, I've said my piece on him. He needs to have a bigger part in the offense. Doesn't. It is what it is. You know what? I'll take that on the chest. I'm a big fan of Picton, and I mean, I hope he stays here for his career. If he doesn't, it's a big loss for the Riders. Let's look at the defensive side of the ball here. Jameer Thurman, 7 tackles, all over the field. Same thing with Milligan, CJ Revis. Sales, Campbell had an interception. His first interception in the CFL is really good. I will say, this defense was really fired up, and I want to point out Shane Ray. Shane Ray was super hyped up, and I mean, I think this was maybe because he was coming back to Toronto. He had a few plays where he got penalized after the whistle, and like he had a good game, but those penalties, like they can't happen like that. This affected us with Dickey. This team was way too penalized, and I mean, I get emotions were running high, but you can't take those stupid penalties after the whistle. That is brutal. We gave up almost 2 football fields in penalties, and a lot of it, I think most of it, was on our defense. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Shane Ray played with the Argos as well as, and I mean, so did AJ. And you saw AJ too getting chippy with the Argos defense. He was talking. They're talking a lot of smack, and you know, things happen, right? Like, you cannot be taking those stupid penalties. 3 sacks from this defensive squad here. I believe they're in the lead in the CFL. AJ Allen got one. Micah Johnson got one. And Mike Rose got one, his first as a rider. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Mike Rose. Haba Baldonado got one too. Looks like 4 sacks. Mike Rose is a stud, and we brought him in for a reason. I'm looking forward. Lowther, it was the holder. Let's not say what it is. The desk there. I mean, watching the game live, I didn't see it, but highlight packages. It's the holder. He didn't have to kick for a week. He's got to be better. The riders have to fix the things that they need to fix in their kicking game. Joe Couch, he was okay. Pardon me, excuse me. There were a couple of tough punts. Couch, I think he had a difficult game. Let's be real. Couple of punts that that should have been longer than they were, but what can you do? Then punt returns, Lowther or Alfred, sorry, for punt returns, 4 for 71 yards, with an average of 17.8, and his longest being 35. Alfred has been giving the riders insane field position. Just wait, we're going to get there, trust me. I called into the Green Zone post-game show during the preseason. I'm going to be honest, I was all over Alfred. And I was like, this guy, we got to do something. Something has to be done about it. But I think this season he's come in and he is straight up just... he's thrown everything out the window about what the kids were saying. I do apologize in week 1. Alfred looked phenomenal and comes in this game, and Alfred won the game for us. It's simply put, Mario Alfred gave us a game that should not have even been competitive. I called in saying that the Argos were the worst team in the CFL, and I mean, I'm gonna put this out there. You know what? I think Jamie, Daryl, and Belton disagreed with me, and you know what? Reasonably so. There's a lot of stock in their argument there, but I think the only reason the Argos looked better than the Elks tonight was because, or I guess last night, because I'm filming this on Saturday morning. The only reason the Elks looked worse than the Argos, or the Argos looked better than the Elks, was because the riders played down to their level and gave them competitive game when this game should not have been competitive at all. I'm sorry, but the Toronto Argonauts of 2025, they're not the defending Grey Cup champions. It's just, from what I've seen out of this Toronto Argonauts team, and I've watched most of the games in the CFL this year. I've watched most of every, I've pretty much watched most of the games, and from what I see, the Edmonton Elks are making more plays than the Argos. And the Argos are just straight up the worst in the CFL this year. I don't think there is really any argument. I mean, the Riders should have... I'm just going to be a broken record here. There's so much to clean up. If we're going up against Montreal with this squad, we're getting whooped. It's simply put. So a lot needs to be cleaned up. There is the kicking game. There's the penalties. There's the defensive secondary. Mind you, they played a heck of a better game this. And I mean, allowing the Argos to put up 32 points when I believe this was our best game in the secondary. I mean, that's an issue. So, a lot of things to shore up. But yeah, that is the end of this episode. If you haven't already subscribe, like, comment, share. Vote for me for America's Next Top Hitmaker because I have made the top 10. Please get me to the top 5. That would mean a lot to me. Go stream Too Late. I am working on some new music right now, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And I will see you guys after hopefully another Riders win at home against the BC Lions. See ya.